Hey there, it's Clay, and today we're talking about how to stop chasing someone, why you want to stop chasing your partner, your specific person, your ex, and how it's going to make you much more attractive to them. Hey there, once again, this is Clay with modernlove.life. Today we're talking about why you want to stop chasing your ex, a specific person, your partner or something like that, if you know you're not in a great place with the relationship, if it's broken up or something, and how this is going to make you much more attractive. And the problem with a lot of this is that as we start to want a relationship with a specific person, we start to become more and more and more attached to outcome. And the more and more attached to outcome that we are, the less we're open to possibility. And so it's really important that we try to stay open to possibility, because when we are extremely attached to outcome, we're saying that we know better than the universe what's right for us. We know better what the right path to our own fulfillment and happiness is. I mean, especially if there's like other challenges at play, like maybe they're a narcissist and you're attracted to narcissists or something like that, then of course there's like other challenges at play there too. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're letting go of any attachment that you might have to a specific person, so that you're not necessarily chasing them and closing yourself off to opportunity, but that you're actually open to opportunity. And again, this doesn't mean that you're not going to get your relationship with John or Jane or whatever the specific person is. It's just once you're able to break the resistance that you have to other possibilities, once you're able to open yourself up to the possibility that something beautiful can come to you that's outside of what you can currently see right now, that's when a lot of really truly magical things can start happening in your life. We all have these different levels of consciousness, and I know that's sort of a confusing and maybe sort of new agey kind of thing to think about, but here's a really practical way to think about it. My daughter is 3 years old. She has a certain worldview. She'd probably just want to eat cookies and watch her favorite TV shows and just play with her princess dolls and stuff all day, if that's what she could do. And that's great, that's fine. But I think if we're able to take a step outside and say, okay, yeah, but there's probably better things for you out there in life than that, like learning to experience nature, or learning things about the world, or making connections with people, or learning how to give, or learning how to make someone smile and things like that. And I think about this a lot, actually, because I do have a small child. But it's like, okay, hey, as an adult, I can see that there's more to life than what her consciousness is able to see, what her concept of reality is able to take in. And sometimes I wonder, hey, what if there are ways in my own life where I'm sort of like the 3 or 4 year old child, and I think that the ultimate happiness is going to be found with, whatever, money or business success or nice weather or a great vacation or, whatever it is. What if that's just my own limitation that I'm placing because of my own attachment to outcome? Because all I can see out of a current reality of what, happiness looks like is, more money in the bank account or some nice expensive things or something like that. What if there's something beyond that I can't see, that maybe someone much more enlightened than me could see, or some I don't know, more evolved being out there that's transcended human desires or something can see, that I can't see, just the same way that I can look at my small daughter and say, yeah, there's you might enjoy eating cookies all the time, but it's just not going to be so great for your teeth or your health or all that sort of stuff. I start to wonder about stuff like that. And so what I'm calling on you to do is to at least entertain the possibility that you may not necessarily know what's best for you. And if you get out of the way, if you allow yourself to get out of the way, oftentimes a lot of miracles can start showing up in your life that can flow through you and come into your life in an amazing sort of way. Because you might be looking at your life in a sort of way where it's like, yeah, all I want to do is just eat sugar and watch TV all day, like a toddler. And what if we could just entertain the possibility that there is more than what our narrow, constricted band of consciousness can see? By the way, if you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button for the old YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell icon while you're subscribing if you haven't already. And just drop a comment down below, just letting me know what you think about these crazy walk and talk videos that I make. It's summertime now. It's like good weather, so I'm trying to get out, get some fresh air, and I hope it's a little bit more visually interesting for you to see things that are out here in the area that I live in, rather than just me in some dreary old office or something. But anyway, what I want to really call on you to do is to look at what your attachment to outcome might be. Is it some story that you have about your ex-partner and your relationship, and like, hey, if I can make this relationship work because we're high school sweethearts, then that means something. That means I'm successful, I'm good at relationships or something. Or I have to be with this person because they might make me feel a certain way or something, and no one else in the whole world, none of the other 7 billion people in the world, or what is it, 8 billion now, I don't know, however many billions of people there are on no one else could ever hold a candle to that person. And I'd encourage you to ask yourself, like, hey, is there a part of me and my consciousness where maybe that's just me trying to think that, hey, all I need is my cartoons and my sugar and I'm just going to be happy. But maybe there's something else beyond that, right? Maybe there's something else beyond the emotionally unavailable person, the narcissist, the relationship that didn't work out for one reason or other. And I don't know. Maybe what you want, maybe the relationship that you want, the partner that you want, maybe that is the right thing for you. Maybe that is the best and most fulfilling path for you to take in your journey. But the point is, once again, that when we're attached to outcome, you're just going to create more resistance and you're going to create more suffering in the long run. But if you can learn to detach yourself from outcome and say, okay, I'm not going to pretend like I know what's best for me. I'm not going to pretend like, it has to be this way. It has to be with this person. It has to be in this time frame. It has to be because I sent the right reverse psychology text message and they responded to me, and it all happened before Thursday afternoon or something like that. Once you can let go of that attachment, now suddenly you're not trying to out-compete everything else out there and say that, hey, I know what's best, but instead you're really opening yourself up for the possibility that something truly amazing can come into your life. So if you can just get out of the way and stop thinking that you know what's best for you, and if you can just open yourself up to the possibility that there could be something greater than you could even conceive of right now, right around the corner, that is when a lot of the magic happens in your life. So I'd really encourage you to not chase after a specific person or try and force something to work, but instead to let go of attachment to outcome, let go of that, and open yourself up to, hey, can I receive something that's for my own best good, even if I can't see what it is right now, even if I don't understand it right now? That's how oftentimes real miracles can show up in your life. I've had several of these experiences over the past few years, and it's been truly humbling when these things do start to show up in your life. I've talked about those in previous videos. Things like the dark energy crystals, if you've ever heard that story. Things like, striking out on my own and going full-time on Modern Love. Things like, actually my daughter's school that's opening up this autumn. These are all things that just sort of miraculously showed up in my own life. Let's just take the school one, because I think it really illustrates the whole idea really well. So like we didn't want to put our daughter in just like a regular preschool or the regular public school system for a lot of reasons that I don't need to get into right now. But we didn't really want to do that. And so, like, okay, should we homeschool? Should we maybe move to another city where there's more options? Blah, 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 all that sort of stuff. And, that's like approaching it from like the 3-year-old, 4-year-old's level of consciousness. It's like, okay, this is what I think my options are. Can I just, should we homeschool? Maybe we should do that. Okay, how do you do that? And, sure, that kind of stuff can make sense. And you can do that and approach the world that way. But what ended up happening was, after putting out this intention and saying like, okay, can I open myself up to a miracle? Can I open myself up to something beautiful happening? There was this post in like the local Facebook group that says, oh, hey, by the way, there's this new school that's going to be opening up in your town, and it just so happens to be perfectly aligned with what you want and perfectly aligned to the lifestyle that you want to live. And it's like really super cool for the kids because they actually get to go out and get real world experience as opposed to intellectually memorizing a bunch of pointless facts that most people aren't going to use in their life. And all this great stuff. And we're like, wow, this is like, I couldn't have just like forced this if I wanted to. And so that's what I'm calling on you to do, is to say, hey, what if I just got out of my own way, put out an intention, aligned myself with what I want through all the way of being stuff, through the advanced relational skills stuff, etc., and just allowed something beautiful to come into my life in a relationship sort of sense. Because one thing I can promise you, when you start focusing in on how you show up, your way of being, the advanced relational skills, all these sorts of things, it will change how you interact with other people. And your partner, your ex, your specific person, they might see that and they might want to come back to you, but of course they have their own free will. And if they're just too hurt, too stubborn, too whatever, too emotionally unavailable, too, narcissistic, too whatever, then that's okay. That's their free will. They can make that choice. But you can come out of this a better person. And one thing I can promise you, if you're more loving, if you're more embracing of being accepting emotionally, if you're able to enforce boundaries in a loving way, if you're able to be generous, if you're able to be more vulnerable and all of these other sorts of things, more present, you will end up in a place where you are more aligned with the right kind of relationship, and you can start to automatically pull that kind of relationship into your experience, and you will eventually end up in a great, amazing relationship. Maybe it's not with the person that you're emotionally attached to right now, but you can end up in a really great, amazing situation that's beyond what maybe your current level of understanding is able to imagine. And if you do that, you'll end up in a place that's beyond better than what you think the best outcome could be right now. Anyway, that being said, thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon, and I will talk to you next time.